December 1st, 2024 will go down in the history books as America's darkest day. Kamala Harris. Did you see the drunken video over break? Have you all seen the
835-year sentence that Trump pardoned? You want to guess his crime?
What?
You want to take a guess?
Hit and run.
Insurance fraud.
How big? All right, everybody. Welcome back to During Business Hours podcast. And today we're going to talk about something that is now officially in the history books. Joseph Biden. He is the worst president on paper. Let's get into it. So we'll start off with Donald Trump has made some appointments while we were gone.
Appointments as in people to office, or he's going to the doctor?
I don't know. He's 80 years old. He could have a hip thrown out, back thrown out. The way he's...
A little bit of both.
Oh, I broke a wrist. You know, just throwing it all the time. He throws it a lot.
Appointments and appointments.
Yeah. He nominated Kash Patel to the leader of the FBI, a guy who on numerous occasions said that he would just close the Hoover building, turn it into a museum of big government, or as Reuters said. Trump picks loyalist Kash Patel to head the FBI. D has been corrected to change the name of DA to administration, not agency, in paragraph 20. Correction. Said on Saturday he wanted former national security official and loyalist Kash Patel to lead the FBI, signaling intent to drive out the Bureau's current director, Christopher Wray. Patel, who was during Trump's first term, advised both the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense, as previously called, for stripping the FBI of its intelligence gathering role and purging its ranks of any employee who refuses to support Trump's agenda. Biggest problem the FBI has had has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopen it the next day as a museum of the deep state. That's what he said. And that was on the Sean Ryan show. I'd take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops. You're cops. Go be cops. And I remember seeing that in the podcast, but boy, it's hilarious. Apparently, with the nomination of Patel, Trump is signaling that he is preparing to carry out his threat to oust Wray, the Republican first appointed by Trump, whose 10-year term at the FBI does not expire until 2027. So he'll be out 2.5 years early.
So is that definitely pushing him out, or is he hoping?
He's going, yeah. If he nominated him, he can. The problem is they're all going to, push back.
How do we feel about this Patel person?
I think he's going to shake it up. He's definitely going to shake it up. He's been in the intelligence sector for a long time. He's not been like somebody on my radar to do it. But I think at this point we pick fucking Homer Simpson and see what blows up. There's nothing they can pick wrong. Everything is wrong now.
It could be wronger.
You could pick Hunter Biden.
He's pardoned.
We're going to get into that. If you didn't know, Hunter Biden is now a free man on all accounts. Everything.
Even things that have yet to be tried or listened to.
Blanket. But we'll get into that. After this nomination, I was like, oh, okay, cool. We've been gone for almost 10 days. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where we are in California. We took a bit of a road trip, a little respite, if you will. Driving 1,800 miles with 2 children as a respite, if you will. Do I look like I'm rested? 1,800 one way, 1,800 the previous way. We got there faster in the
gas.
The not so green car. It was pretty cheap, not as cheap as the green car, but still good.
Gosh.
Hey,
can we talk about the cheapness for a second? Because I'm still mad. Okay, so going there, gas here is about $2.10 a gallon on average.
Bad day, $2.30.
Yeah. Texas, comparable. New Mexico, getting closer to $3. Arizona, about $3. Mm-hmm. California.
I think as soon as we got into Bakersfield, it was $5.
Yep.
It was from $2.60 to $2.70 that we had just paid $60 filling up the entire tank. And then I was like, $5?
I went from I filled up the tank at home for less than $30 for the full deal. Get into California, triple it. Same tank.
I felt like somebody had castrated me. It was a very emotional, like the Alex Jones. I'm just so angry. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know him well enough to know this.
If you've ever watched Alex Jones, you know that when he's signing off nowadays, because it's not his network, it's the globalists and the elites, he always does this rubbing his face and like, I don't know what to do with his big fingers. I don't know what to do. And that's what I felt like when I was getting up the rear end with, welcome to California. Here's your gas bill of over $100. Oh, so I figured, okay, we've only got 400 miles. Let's fill up one time. Bad idea. It was $5. We're going. We filled up one time. We got to Sacramento. We don't need to fill up for, 6-7 days.
I don't think we filled up at all while we were in Sacramento.
We didn't really go anywhere. We lost a lot of money at the casino, and then we stayed and just relaxed, cuddled up next to a fire.
It was coming home that really grinded my gears. So we're in that stretch coming home. We're still in California, stopped in Needles. We probably still had 50 miles left. $5.99. Every gas station in all four corners we could see, $5.99. So we stop and we get gas, about $85 to fill up. It
was $85, but that was roughly half a tank that we needed. As we were leaving, what did she say?
Yeah, as the gas clicked done, she said 2 miles. 2 miles up the road. You're in Arizona. Gas is $2.99.
Yeah, it was actually $2.65.
Yeah.
I don't know why she told us. I really feel like this employee just wanted to be spit on. Like it was one of those weird California kinks that if she would have turned around, there was a tail and a leash, because it was almost like, you ever got punched in the face and then offered cake, but the opposite? You know what I mean? Like, here's your sour pill and then a slap in the ass. It was just, there was no reason for it. It was ended. We were done. Say goodnight. Here's your money on the nightstand. Get the hell out of here. And then it was like, get tested. Like,
oh my gosh.
Why? Like, there was nothing appropriate about just like one for the road,
Yeah.
Just.
Or tell us before we started pumping, not when it clicks done.
Would you like some snacks? Don't get gas here. I'd love to save you $60.
Right.
And then next year, January 1st, not only are we going to be looking forward to a new administration, but California and Newsom is adding 70 cents per gallon, a new California tax. For what? It doesn't fucking matter. It's the most preposterous
But that's going to be
thing.
on gas?
On gas. Per gallon.
We're not going back next year.
Sorry, fam.
It's cheaper to come out this way at this point.
It is not the club.
We is not fam.
It's not fam. Very demure. And so when we get here, we spent 2 days traveling. I think we did a good job at spacing it half and half, about 12 hours one day, 12 hours another, to get the kids rested and everyone, enjoying the ride. Not too much of the, are we there yet? They always do it the last 2 hours, no matter what. Kills us. We got back. Christmas gifts in tow. Packed trunk. Everything out. 2 a.m. Got Fortnite loaded. And we all passed out. It was great. Woke up this morning, Kash Patel. Not even an hour later, what does good old Joe Biden do? Joe. Father Time. And he is certain.
Tell as old as time.
Chestnuts roasting on an open... With Kash Patel as the head of the FBI, I feel like, and he has stated that he would declassify almost half of everything that comes across his desk.
I know all the big names in history, they intend to release those files, so they say.
And I truly believe, because I've seen him for a couple of years, always talk about, like, this is what needs to be done. And now he's the guy. I don't think he would change something over a period that I barely knew him, but I knew him as the guy who was like, declassify. And within 2 hours, Joseph Biden pardoned Hunter Biden of all blanket crimes from January 1st, 2014 to December 1st, 2024.
So I am surprised, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I figured father and son, right? But I am surprised because of how often the speaker said, no, he's not going to do that. No, he would never do that. Not going to happen.
Pierre. Isn't her name Pierre?
I don't recall.
Curly-haired Pierre. I just know she's an African-American woman with a weird name. I think it's Pierre. Jean-Claude Pierre. I don't think she's French either.
No.
But if she said so, I feel like my skin is crawling at the idea that we already have this like presidential immunity idea where president is immune from anything in office that he can do. Like, okay, kill a citizen. No, it was deemed necessary. Was it really though? They already can classify things and be like, well, this is deemed, secure, etc. Boom, boom, boom. I classified it. I unclassified it. What I said, how it goes. Blanket power. We understand. It's in the Constitution. Here's what you can do. You can pardon people. I didn't expect his own son. I thought they wheeled and dealed, got him a 6-month sentence with a little house arrest, some community service, and a gun class. Boom. Hunter Biden serving his time. We all know it's not enough because allegations of pedestrian, however they want to call it now, the PDF file, all stuff with the Hunter Biden laptop and the Russia collusion and the Ukraine stuff and Burisma.
It's interesting to see pardoned against crimes of the United States, crimes against the United States in his pardon.
And 10 months or 10 years and 11 months worth of crimes is such I don't think he could have done anything worse at the end of his presidency. He could have pardoned Donald Trump.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been better for his image, and he would have went down in the history books as like a man with a plan and like wanting America to do better. Like, hey, because I know that Ford did it for Nixon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, hey, we don't want to start this off with blah, blah, blah and putting a president. They just never do that.
His predecessor, so he went.
So Trump didn't do that to Hillary, which he could have. Very well should have. But he didn't. For respect.
Is a strong word.
Shoulda. Hate is a strong word. But I really, really, really hate that one.
All right, plain white tees.
I'm just saying. She definitely worse than Nixon. In my opinion, Hillary Clinton is worse than Nixon. Ty's worse than Putin. What's on paper? Just saying. So we get into who he could have done in his last 2 months. What he could have done. Not who. What he could have done in his last 2 months. Well, he decided to start World War III. Let's declassify nothing. And, I'm just going to say that any crimes from this time to that time, whether I remember it or not, with or without the scooter sticks, complete blanket.
Has he pardoned anybody else or just him?
No.
I know.
Nobody.
I know Trump pardoned
Lil Wayne?
at least 20. Yeah, definitely Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was rocking for Trump first time.
Kanye was too, I'm just saying.
Has Kanye committed any?
I don't think so. I think that's why they tried to cancel him. Mentally unfit, totally fine.
I think the man we see today ain't Kanye, but...
Lizard people.
I don't know about lizard people.
They always say people get replaced by lizards and the gay frog thing.
Yeah, that's not the conspiracy I've rabbit holed.
Yeah, it's just part of it. That the water's turning the frogs gay and that people are wearing lizard skins, or human skins. They're aliens that are trying to kill them. I don't want to go down that
because that makes me think of natives and their tales of skinwalkers, and that's terrifying.
It all ties in, but
terrifying.
There's a lot of that unfortunately ties into it. But Trump pardoned 20-ish people, and they thought that was treasonous. They declared it treason, and I think it was Nancy Pelosi who said, never has this been done, blah, 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 blah.
I went and looked.
And then made a NVIDIA stock trade 15 minutes later.
I went and re-reviewed the list of people that Trump pardoned, and a lot of it was like people we'd never heard of. There was a guy who did years in jail for like less than a gram of weed, and he pardoned him. Someone got, hold on, let me remember this story. 835-year sentence that Trump pardoned. You want to guess his crime?
What?
You want to take a guess?
Hit and run.
Insurance fraud.
How big?
I didn't get into the finer details of
Daddy
that.
Trump, I'm just saying I got a plan. It's a business plan. It may involve fire.
Yeah, but most of the people he pardoned were people that had very small drug charges, and they were sentenced too harshly because of the time that they were sentenced in.
Do we know if Kim got in it and was like, oh, because she was fighting for a lot of those less fortunate crimes.
Kardashian?
Yeah, unfortunately, I hate to give her a shout out, but there was the one thing that I saw that she like did with her fame was trying to get people reduced sentences, etc. And
yeah, I there was maybe a half a dozen of her cases that I looked into, and out of those 6 that I looked at, there was 2 where I'm like, that person might need to stay where they're at.
Yeah, there's a few that have done even worse things in prison after their I'm innocent plea, and I'm like, how do you then go to like stab a guy 45 times? Just because you're on.
Is that you?
I think this is the most pivotal point. And besides him opening the border, destroying our country, ruining foreign trade, it is the single worst thing he can do because it admits fault. It admits there's something.
Something
it's
worth
so
hiding.
blanketed.
It's like, even if it's something that you haven't even thought to look at yet, it don't matter.
He had to, I believe the way it works is he had to have put in a statement, everything between those times that he can remember, gone over it with the DOJ, put it in writing, and it's now classified. And then they brought charges or, intended on bringing charges and then got a pardon the moment it happened. So they would have to know. So Jack Smith.
So somebody knows.
Somebody knows. And so even if Biden himself, the president, is involved in those crimes during his presidency or, time in 2014, 2015, 2016, before he got out as vice president, because he has an immunity as a vice president, he can't be tried. The only time he was a civilian was 2017, 18, 19, 2020.
So does the presidential immunity during the time you're sitting, does that work for all things?
Anything in your power. So if he was like going to Ukraine, and
if Biden walked out of the house, went 3 doors down and shot somebody, he's still in trouble. He's
should
not covered.
Be. I don't think he would be, because you could say,
well, they got him on.
I thought he was a terrorist and this was the best and quickest course of action.
Well, they found him mentally incompetent to stand for those files.
Trial for the files.
Yeah, trials for the files stamped out because he's mentally incompetent, but still sitting.
That's a good t-shirt. You know how hard it is to get a company to make t-shirts that are political after an election? I tried to do it beforehand, and I'm just going to say All-Star Customs in Woodward, Oklahoma, suck a fat one. I reached out 10, 15 times, got you to email 3 or 4 times back, place the order, never asked for a deposit.
They didn't want their name attached to anything.
It was not even anything bad. It was just Kamala with her little helmet. I didn't even give them the ones with the words. I gave them ones with Trump as well, just to be biased. Like, okay, this is middle of the road.
Put one on the front, one on the back.
Yes. I was trying
off the person behind you and the person in front.
I was trying to be like, okay, there's got to be something here. So I reached out to another one in town who finally, after the election, was like, hey, we were hella busy. Sorry. So I'm not going to blow them out. But All-Star Customs, that's a 0 from me, dog. And then we've got so many like sign makers in Oklahoma that for some reason they don't want to get off their ass and do anything. But yet every single company I've reached out to in the last month to either make signs, make cards, make shirts, little business things. It's the holidays, Black Friday, trying to build up some things, are all on Facebook talking about how business is slow.
That's the one.
Nobody can pay them.
That's the one thing that I don't like about Oklahoma is the lack of work ethic.
But I can't get anyone.
I mean, it's cool when you're driving down the street, nobody's trying to run you off the road, but nobody's in a rush to do anything. Like, oh, your water main broke. We'll get there when we get there.
We were gone 10 days of this month, and we lost like 40% of our revenue, probably. I would say it was a slow enough month.
Slow week, closed for the holiday.
It was a slow week before that, and then we were closed for the holiday. And I would say that still covers all of our operating expenses and we put money in the pocket.
Yeah.
So why can't they do the same? That's all I'm saying. And we didn't need a presidential fucking pardon. December 1st, 2024 will go down in the history books as America's darkest day.
Has any president gone out with no pardons?
I believe so. Yeah, I just seen someone else say that.
Because I know Clinton pardoned his brother. I believe Obama pardoned somebody. I can't remember who though. Bush. I don't recall what happened during Bush's time.
I also saw this.
Wow.
But no, come back. Yeah, it's Joe Biden coming after. You forgot your gun. When I saw the news, I remembered a tweet from Joe Biden that Joe Biden stated in 2022 when all the law affair with Donald Trump came. He tweeted, "No one is above the law." Very clearly. And then today, everyone in the Biden family is above the law. They are the law. They wrote the law and they skirt the law.
Another good shirt.
And then I started looking into people's replies on X, and I just thought it was hilarious. The consensus is that he is a PDF file, and that mainly a lot of people think both of them are, but those are the more like.
Are we getting into PDF file? Is this a maps thing?
No. Just that Joe Biden and Hunter have history of, doing weird things with women who are underage and sexual acts, which Hunter.
So, yeah.
But so it says Vince Langman on X stated, "I'm not upset that Joe Biden gave his crackhead son Hunter a pardon for tax evasion and gun charges. I'm pissed off beyond belief that he got away with child porn on his laptop from hell because of our corrupt DOJ and FBI covered up." And then a lot of people made comments that said, "A pardon means Hunter no longer has the Fifth Amendment immunity. He cannot hide behind the Fifth when called in court or Congress. He will have to disclose his accomplices and other aspects of crime. He will have to confirm for the Judiciary Committee who the big guy is." And if that is true, the big guy being what everybody assumes is the big Biden, Joe Biden, the president, 46th. Just saying, if that's true and he has to, if he's ever called to something before, a big committee, if the DOJ has all that information on it, they can verify what the crimes were and hopefully hold Biden accountable.
Well, I feel like
whatever it may be.
As you said moments ago, he would have to disclose what it was he did, who was there, this, that, and the other before he could get his pardon, right? So somebody somewhere knows the details. I don't see the government going after their own. I don't see anybody coming to look for him unless they really do, quote unquote, drain the swamp.
I found it to be, because it's for the history books, Guinness Book of World Records, the first president ever to pardon his son of a crime. That's crazy. That's big as it is, but then to blanket do it is like, well, no, we know he's been a criminal this entire time and brought cocaine into the White House, allegedly.
Is there any president that has served during our actual life that had a kid who might have needed a pardon but wasn't getting one?
Clinton had older kids, I believe.
He had Chelsea. I think that's her name. I remember her.
Just Chelsea, yeah.
Obama's girls were pretty young.
Yeah, that's it. Because that would be Clinton, Bush. No, Bush. Let's see who Bush is.
Oh, boy, does Bush have kids?
Yeah, I know. That's why George W. Bush had 2 kids, Jenna Bush Hager and Barbara Bush.
Right. Now that I think about that, that's a little bit weird. I wonder why I remember Chelsea's name, and then obviously I remember Hunter's.
Jenna Bush Hager would have been about 19 years old when he was in office. Possibilities,
Yeah, I'm just saying, I wonder why.
She's on, I knew her. Jenna Bush Hager or Jenna Hager. Mm-hmm. She's the person that's on that TV show that always talks on The View or whatever.
Oh, no.
She's on fans are obsessed with Jenna Hager's blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize it was her with all the plastic surgery. Hoda and Jenna or
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Hoda and Jenna. She's got her own TV show, apparently. Good for you. So I guess she wasn't Hunter Biden status, so good for her. let's go to Barbara Bush, who's also into television. Holy shit. She's an actress, activist, and manager. Wow. That's interesting. 43rd U.S. president, also granddaughter of former, blah, blah, blah. She was named after Barbara Bush of the former George H.W. Bush. Political activity, released a video, Human Rights Campaign, nation's largest lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender civil rights organization, calling New York State to legalize same-sex marriage. I am Barbara Bush, and I am a New Yorker for marriage equality. That's on her Wikipedia page. Jesus. She endorsed Kamala Harris.
Whose daughter is she?
That's Barbara Bush. She's in the media. She works for the news media.
Interesting turn.
I like being able to give my opinion. Kamala Harris. Did you see the drunken video over break? Have you all seen the I'm just going to throw this out here as my ending to this week's podcast, to our video, and a much love and thank you. Huh?
One more hot topic after this, if you want it.
Okay. This is my gift to you for the holiday. I'm thankful for you.
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did.
You don't let anybody take your power from you. And just every word, this bitch was cooked. She was the Thanksgiving dinner.
Hunter brought some more cocaine into the White House before that pardon.
A little dime bag, honey, a little MD 2020 and a patter. No, happy Thanksgiving. We got a lot to be thankful for. Daddy Joe is handing out pardons. That's what happened. And now we know how the White House operates. So when Trump comes in, it's just like tactical nuke. Everything's going down. We appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how these videos are doing for you. If you enjoy them, if you do like hanging out with me and my wife on these weekday evenings, weekend, videos. And we'll get to more of them in the future. And we'll see you next time.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past. But knowing me, my DeLorean will probably